go ahead and hit record before I forget. So this meeting is recorded and will be available later today on our community page. Yeah, we'll have the demo from Kube-Lego, and then we'll have an update about the SIG-Apps survey, and then we'll open up the floor for any discussion or questions that the community might have. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Christian. Christian, will you tell us about yourself and about JetStack and about Kube-Lego, please?
Yeah, hi everyone. I hope you can see the slides now. Yeah, my name is Christian Simon. I work for JetStack. We are a consultancy based around containers, Kubernetes, and so on. And today I want to show you some kind of side project that is called Kube-Lego. So Kube like in Kubernetes and Lego like in Let's Encrypt for Go language. So Kube-Lego just build something around certain kind of building blocks Kubernetes provides. So it uses Let's Encrypt, the new CA, which is completely automated and API driven, and requests certificates for your sites that are running in Kubernetes. Just to a short agenda. So we're looking at the ACME protocol that is used to speak to the certificate authority, and we look at ingress resources. They are pretty important for directing external traffic into your Kubernetes container. And then I'm just going to show you how Kube-Lego interacts with all of that. And after that, I will do a short demo. And I tried to do something interactive. So just for the presentation, I posted the CNAME into the chat, just to show that nothing is prepared and I can really get certificates, real certificates for domains. If you just want to set your own DNS zone, a record with a CNAME to kube-lego.jetstack.net. We can later try to get a certificate for it and just prove that it's going to work. So about the ACME protocol, it's a well-defined protocol. I'm not sure. I think it's now RFC yet, but there is a draft for it, and it defines different challenges to really verify that you are the right owner for a domain name. So I think every one of us knows the process with certificate authorities, where you get an email and have to verify a token. And the email thing is not that. What is this window doing? The email thing is not really automatable easily. So the ACME protocol focuses on HTTP verification, where you just listen on a well-known path on the domain and return expected token or challenge response. The same is for DNS records, and you could do the same with TLS, SNI. And of course, if you're already a holder of a certificate and the according private key, you can prove that, and you don't have to re-challenge this domain name. So Kube-Lego right now only uses the HTTP verification, so it was just the simplest to implement with the given environment of a Kubernetes cluster. And I think it's possible to implement TLS SNI as well, given the Kubernetes resources. But I haven't implemented yet, but maybe in the future. The DNS one is a bit more complicated because there are so many DNS providers you have to interface with. So I'm currently just supporting HTTP and planning TLS SNI. Let's Encrypt will give you a user account with this, get a key pair with the user account, and with this key pair you can revoke certificates. And that's becoming handy. And another thing Let's Encrypt decided to do was to limit the maximum certificate lifetime to 90 days. This forces everyone to automate as much as possible, because 90 days is nothing. You want to renew some certificate manually, because it's maybe with 2 years you could have thought of a script running, but with 90 days it's really annoying because you will forget the deadlines around that. Now I'm going to tell a bit about the Ingress resource. And so the Ingress resource in Kubernetes is not implemented in the Kubernetes core. So it just provides resources and storage for the configuration for Ingress, but no actual implementation. There are, at least I'm aware of 2 Ingress controllers. One is an Nginx one, and this one is completely in software, so it's not cloud-based. So the termination of the Ingress happens inside the Kubernetes cluster, and you just run Nginx in different parts. That's the only supported for now. In theory, I could support the Google Cloud Engine forwarding rule controller. So this controller will watch Ingress configuration, Ingress resources inside your cluster, and then modify the configuration in the Google Cloud Engine. It's not supported yet. It theoretically could be supported, and that's something for the future as well. So now I'm just going to show you a typical example how Kube-Lego works. So we have the whole architecture drawn here. So I have Kube-Lego running in a pod, and it's just a single pod for now. And to make this kind of Kube-Lego available, I create a service, and to publish it for external traffic, I'm using an Ingress resource. This is only used for this HTTP endpoint. So there's a /well-known blah 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 endpoint to answer and verify the certificate challenge, and that's the Ingress resource. This Ingress resource is automatically created. Now I'm just going to run you through an example. So as soon as Kube-Lego is running, it watches all the Ingress resources in the cluster. So over all namespaces, as soon as an Ingress resource changes or gets created or deleted, Kube-Lego will run a cycle and check all the referenced secrets of Ingress resources. So in an Ingress resource, if you want to have TLS, you specify a secret name, and this secret name is then watched by Kube-Lego as well. The Ingress control, or the Ingress resource, specifies host names, and then Kube-Lego checks the secret if the certificate in the secret covers this kind of host name. It also checks if the certificate is expired, for example. And as soon as it realizes, okay, I need a new certificate, Kube-Lego makes sure that this challenge endpoints are set up for the domain name. And after that, it tries to read an existing user account. If not, it creates a new user account with Let's Encrypt. And then it finally can request a certificate from Let's Encrypt. Let's Encrypt will validate the request through an HTTP call and returns the certificate. And now Kube-Lego stores the certificate in the secret object, secret resource. And from then on, everything is updated in the cluster, and just the Ingress controller needs to look at and watch the change of the secret, and needs to use the new secret to make it actually work. So now I'm going to look at the demo. I'm not too sure if I received a host name. Yes. Okay. So I hope everyone can see my console window. If not, please scream. What I'm now trying to do, I'm trying to create an Ingress resource first for this Echo server. First, without any TLS resource. So this is This is the ingress rule, so I'm just having the host name demo.kubelego.jetstack.net, and I'm binding on the root path the service echo server. So let's just check. I'm creating this ingress now, and there's the ingress. If I switch to the browser, okay, just check demo.kubelego.net. Yeah, now I'm seeing the echo server. Yeah, we have no HTTPS as it's not specified. And now I'm gonna start Kube-Lego. So if we look at the resources in the cluster, we have two of these Nginx ingress controllers. We have the echo server. We have a default backend. It's just returning 404, not doing more. And yeah, it's deployments that just create this kind of pods. So now I'm gonna add the Kube-Lego resources. So Kube-Lego, let me just switch to the console window. Kube-Lego has like a config map, which just stores the configuration for the pod. So for the registration with Let's Encrypt, you have to have an email address, and you have to override the API URL, because the default URL is the staging URL, just because for testing, and you won't get proper signed certificates from the staging URL. But if you want to use real certificates, then you have to configure this kind of production URL. So now I'm going to create the resources. And if we just take a look, so container is still in. So Kube-Lego is now running. It won't do anything, so there won't be HTTPS connection now, because we still have the ingress resource without any TLS specifications. So we see, if I'm reloading here, we see Kube-Lego running, and yeah, we can take a look at its log for later. So it's just started, it's listening for the challenge endpoints, and it's connected to the Kubernetes API just to watch for changes. Now when I'm looking at this echo server ingress with TLS configuration, so you can see I have now a TLS specification here. So I want to have TLS on this demo kubelego.jetstack.net host. Now when I'm going to apply this TLS configuration, so the new ingress resource will contain a TLS, and now Kube-Lego recognizes that, and it tries to find or tries to make sure that the challenge endpoint is reachable. So it takes some time for the Nginx ingress to set up this challenge endpoint. So that is the actual challenge endpoint, and now Kube-Lego tries to reach itself via a self-test endpoint. So it's still taking some time. So 503 just is missing the service resource, has not yet updated for Nginx. So now we can see it's responding and now obtaining the certificate from Let's Encrypt. It's getting the certificate back and creating a new secret with this echo server TLS. And now if I'm switching to, oh, I can't press the demo kubelego.jetstack.net, we see it's now encrypted. I'm having a fresh certificate from Let's Encrypt. So yeah, if you look at the date, it's just happened that we get the certificate. And now I'm just trying to certify this external URL. Thanks for providing it. So this domain now points at the cluster, the Kubernetes cluster I'm running as well. And I'm just adding it to the Ingress resource. And now applying this configuration changes. And now we should see, if we look at the logs from Kube-Lego, that it's trying to reconnect, trying to apply for a new certificate. So it's still waiting. So it's seeing a 404 here. Still waiting for the Nginx Ingress to configure the endpoints. So probably it's going to take a moment or two. And then we should be able to get this Lego.Sarah.is, I think. So we're seeing the domain is pointing at the cluster, and hopefully in a short moment we should see get the right certificates for it. Okay, so that's an error I've seen a couple of times now. I'm not too sure where this JWS is invalid is coming from, but that's something I definitely I'm keen if someone has a clue. Yeah, so more or less as soon as an error happens, Kube-Lego exits, and yeah, the pod will be restarted with the restart policy. So we should see it in a moment. I wasn't really able to get this error out. So hopefully we're gonna see this kind of soon happening. Yeah, maybe meanwhile I can tell you a bit about, probably you know this SSL analyzer. So Nginx Ingress really provides a pretty good configuration for SSL. So that is like 3 or 4 weeks old, but I'm hoping we still get an A+ for the TLS termination. So this Qualys SSL Labs just checks all kind of configuration options for TLS connections and makes sure you're using secure settings and your whole setup is secure. Right now, there's a little problem with TLS session resumption. So it enables you to, to resume a session. But as we're running 2 Nginx Ingress pods, they have no storage for these sessions. And so the start is rather slow. So I think there is soon to be some kind of mechanism for Nginx to store these sessions inside an external storage like Redis, and then we would benefit. The time to first byte would benefit from this. So let's just take a look what Kube-Lego is doing. So that looks good. We finally got the right certificates. So that's private key and certificate in log output, not fully secure yet. And yeah, can't really click. So in theory, we should see now a working certificate here as well. Yeah, so that, second domain is now in the certificate as well. It's added to the same certificate as subject alternative name. If you, there's the, so the main, the common name of the certificate is still this demo domain, the first one in the Ingress resource, and the second name is added to the subject alternative names. And yeah, it's certified. Okay, I think that was pretty much all I wanted to show in the demo. Maybe some idea, some kind of roadmap in theory. So I'm happy for everyone to create issues if someone wants more features or anything that is missing. So right now, I just have my internal roadmap. It's not completely in issues yet, but I want to have some better failure handling. So you see, Kube-Lego is exiting. If something error-like happens, I just want it to run all the time. I think, yeah, similar to this is someone requested to have health checks. That's something I would be really keen to have in. And yeah, I think that as long as the error reporting is pretty good, and yeah, it stops trying request domains that have failed for a couple of tries, then I think I'm happy to do that. Yeah, the next thing I want to look right now, Kube-Lego looks at all namespaces, all Ingress resources. I probably want to have some kind of filtering mechanism, either look at only one namespace, or yeah, specify namespaces, maybe even with some kind of wildcard in it or something like that. The other thing I want to be able is the key length to be, yeah, and the algorithm. So right now I'm just using RSA, I think 2048. I think I want to have this configurable, maybe via Ingress resource annotations or something like that. The other thing, I'm actually having an issue for that in the Kube-Lego GitHub page, is looking at how the GCE forwarding rule Ingress controller can work with Kube-Lego. Right now, I guess one problem is that yeah, the GCE Ingress controller doesn't aggregate multiple Ingress resources into one controller. I guess there are certain limitations around the GCE forwarding rule that you can't do this easily. And so for every Ingress resource, as far as I know, one forwarding rule is created. I definitely want to look into this, but yeah, haven't found the time yet. Yeah, then some kind of bonus thing is this TLS SNI challenge. And another thing, for example, the first certificate I've created now, so without the sarah.is domain, I'm not revoking this certificate right now, so maybe it makes sense to just revoke that kind of certificate. There's no code for it yet, but that would be an interesting feature, I think. And yeah, I think that was everything I wanted to show, so I'm happy to take any questions, or yeah, happy to have any experiences from from real world usage. So I'm using it for my personal cluster and I'm happy with it, and I don't have to change anything in the code anymore because it's just working as I want it to work.
Always nice when things just work. Thanks for your demo, Christian. Who has questions?